So it's welcome to Coffee with Stuart again, and who do we have in the house today? Claire Jones-Hughes, welcome. Thank you very
Hi.
much for taking the time out to come and speak to us at Coffee with Stuart. So I just wanted to have a quick chat just to see really what it is that you do and how can you help us.
So, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me on this. Really great. My name is Claire Jones-Hughes, and my company is called Clarita Digital. There is a story behind that. Maybe people will have to private message me to find out what that is. And I'm a digital marketer. So, but I'm the marketing bit of the digital. So I don't do websites. That seems to be my motto now. I don't do websites. My passion here is I come into companies kind of like a digital marketing manager to oversee the digital operations for companies that maybe need some extra support or don't have can't employ a digital marketing manager. So I come in and I use research and data-backed insights to look at the marketplace for the business, to look at competitors, to see what the trends are, what's successful, and then I put that into a strategy that will help achieve the goals that the business wants. So we identify those goals up front, driving leads, driving sales, that sort of thing, and then we put together a strategy. And within that strategy, obviously I'm quite a creative person too. So what I love to do is come up with creative ideas to, build that audience and generate those leads using all the digital tools and platforms that are available, such as email, such as looking at the website. So I don't build websites, but I do look at the website and the effectiveness of it. And social media, obviously, and ads, Google ads, and social media ads. It's all, my role is about bringing that together to make sure that it is working and integrated and efficient.
Because it'd be quite fair to say that some people have got a website and they've got a Facebook page and they've got various things, but it's not actually joined up. And so you look at it from you stand back and have a look at it and just see where things could be joined up. Yeah. Sounds like I could do with some of that.
Well, my background is, I'm from I worked for a number of years in FMCG healthcare. So I'm very customer focused, but not just, I work with a lot of business to business as well. So it's not just my customer, but my customer's customer, and getting in the mindset of what, their business customers need, and then their business customers, who are most likely consumers, are looking for, and how so it's looking at the language, the values that people hold, which are, we buy from people, so making sure the brand and the values come across is very important.
That's very interesting, because there's no point being too techie if your customer doesn't understand. If it's business to business, it will be a different language, I imagine.
Absolutely.
To a customer.
Yeah, and from that background, I've got that's a very good grounding in sort of understanding in business and customers, but also I used to be a blogger as well. I still blog, so I understand about building audiences, and building audiences on social media and on websites, and what it takes for people to actually click on something, read it, consume it. So we're talking about content that people are actually going to find enjoyable and bring value to their lives. And I strongly believe, no matter what business you are, because I work with some very unattractive, if that's a word, businesses that people wouldn't think that there's anything interesting to write. I'm a bit of a geek, so you give me something that is perceived as boring and I'll be like, but hang on, what you do is important. Mm-hmm. And there's some magic there from your customers. There's a moment, the magic moment is when they realize it's not that they want to spend money, it's that they need what you have.
Yes.
And it's trying to find that magic moment within the content and using the tools to make sure that delivers the result and gets people to notice you and call you or email you or buy from you.
Because you want to stand out from all the rest of the people out there doing the advertising, all the rest of you. You're trying to find some way that you can help your clients stand out?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's and also doing that on a very, you know, slim budget. So, you know, obviously we might be in an era now where budgets are going to be slimmed down even more than, you know, more than ever. So one of the things that I have looked at is what existing content have people got that they've used in the past that could be, you know, made more consumable for on the platforms where their audience, where their customers are.
I've
So it's
heard this
always about
term, repurposing.
repurposing. Very good. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And you know, with some businesses the messages are don't necessarily change much, the heart of what people need and do. So it's about finding that and making that relevant to people's lives today. So yeah, it's you can tell I get quite excited by it. I've been thrown some quite good challenges from, you know, writing scripts about refrigerant gases.
So you've got a wide range of diverse customers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've worked over the years, I've worked for sort of consumer goods, so things that you know, well-known household brands, through to, you know, more corporate business to business, which is something I'm focusing on now. I do think that, you know, on the consumer side, there is, you know, the e-commerce industry, for example, they're at the sharp end of this. They're very good at this e-business. On the business to business side, I think it's been a little bit relaxed because a lot of that business is done by person to person kind of networking. But now we're in this virtual world. I think everybody is realizing that they have to look at their digital operation and see what value it can add. What is it, you know, what leads can we generate from online? Because it is altogether possible in a B2B environment as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the circumstances of today have changed things quite a lot, and a lot of companies are looking to adapt and maybe move online where they possibly weren't very active online before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's not just all about Zoom. It's now how they can how people can connect with them through the power of video, even blogs or social content, LinkedIn content, and how in a business to business environment, how you can it's kind of giving off that as far as you can get to understanding the person and the people and the team behind the business without actually meeting them. It's how far can you take that to drive someone to go, they look like someone I want to work with, or at least want to have a chat with.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to fire off a little LinkedIn message.
I suppose it all comes down to the know, like, and trust type situation.
Yeah.
And people, like you say, people do business with people.
Yeah.
Not corporations, and it's individuals.
But inherently, you know, with the internet the way it is, with some of the misinformation that's out there, the trust element is in a virtual world still, you know, it's unstable. So it's about how can you have that integrity through your content, through, you know, case studies and data and research, and, you know, in a business to business environment, it's more about showing proof of your service, and not just reviews and testimonials like they have in e-commerce because you bought something off Amazon. This is more about you know, big scale projects where lots of money, lots of people have been involved, and it's about how you tell that story. And often a business to business environment as well is very complex. You know, there's a lot of different you know, teams and stakeholders. So it is really about how to boil down a simple message to the people that are making the decisions and listening. But I do believe that LinkedIn is developing and growing, and that people are understanding now, more executives at all levels are understanding now that this is somewhere where they need to show thought leadership. They need to show, you know, what their business has achieved, but also show the identity behind their business. And you see on LinkedIn, the people that are winning are the ones that have managed to do that in a professional way. So it's quite exciting, really.
It is a very exciting time indeed. So that's very interesting. So we now know who Claire Jones-Hughes is. And whereabouts are you in this part of the country where you abide?
So I'm based in Brighton. I have a lovely little home office, which I'm sitting in here. But obviously I've travelled, some of my clients are all, all over. So I've travelled to Switzerland and other places in Europe to some of my clients. And because we're well, obviously I haven't done that in quite a few months.
Yeah, but it's fabulous that you can travel the world on your laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been used to a virtual way of working for quite some time, and even before the pandemic, worked on a project with cross, pan global teams with different time zones, and so coordinating that, you need to be on the ball.
Yeah,
You need
that's
to know,
amazing. Yeah.
there are some project management tools that are my best friends. I can't live without a good to-do list and Trello and and Teams and Zoom, and but I enjoy that. I enjoy sort of working with lots of different people with lots of different backgrounds and experiences.
Yes.
And some very, very sort of interesting people with high levels of expertise, in their field. But when it comes to talking about it online, I'm the terrible person that has to come in and go, right, we need to say this a bit simply.
Break
And
this
it's like,
down so I understand it.
but I enjoy that, and getting the essence out, and it gets good feedback, because obviously ultimately they do agree that things have to be boiled down to a simple message to get people's attention first before you go to that sort of more complex.
Yes.
Okay, this is, our approach.
I imagine there's a lot of science in the process.
I mean, for me, it's about using years of experience of customer habits, understanding what the motivations are of, their business and their business, and having worked with so many different types of businesses. And my career goes back to sales, marketing, even customer supply chain, working with major household grocers, people like Asda and Tesco's, and you see how they work and how sharp they have to be and how driven they are, and and what they expect of suppliers. And so you get inside their mindsets as their concerns is, about their customers, but also about their operation, keeping it lean, keeping shareholders happy.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's about, for me, it's perhaps not science so much. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of psychology in some of the content,
Yeah.
but for me, it is more drawing on that experience over the years of working with, just understanding how the world works and what the motivations are. Although at the moment it's a very challenging time, because we don't really know how it's going to unfold. But again, to be a part of that and to work with companies what helping them shape that, and react to that and pivot has been quite exciting as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So we now know who you are. We now know where you live and what you do and how you can help us. But I just have one sort of final question, just for anybody that was wanting to. One of your biggest tips, like what's your biggest tip for somebody that's wanting to think about this success-wise, working online, working for yourself? What's one of your sort of takeaway biggest tip?
Oh, that's a really good one. I think for me, because I am a customer-centric person, is one thing I always say to people is, before you do anything, build anything, write anything, post anything, is ask yourself, try and put yourself in the shoes of your customer. And if you don't know, then you need to know what they feel like. And ask yourself, why will they care about this? Why will they care about my product, my content, my video? Why are they going to care? And that's the question to ask.
Yeah.
With anything that you do, content wise, marketing wise, is like, what's the customers like? What's in this for me? And you have to say why they're going to care.
That sounds like an amazing piece of advice, because some people just might go out with their own message and think, I want to put this message out, but it's not actually.
No, we all love our own businesses, don't we? We love our businesses. We're passionate about them. I mean, look at me. I mean, I love what I do, and it's great. It's really great, and I love seeing that. But if you think you're great, does your customer think you're great?
Yes,
Do they care?
yes, yeah,
Because, you know, and you know what it's like. We spend a lot of time looking at our services and thinking, okay, you know, I think this will be really good, but we haven't really sense checked it with customers or,
yeah,
you know, people we trust. And you know, so that's sort of why would we care encapsulates things like from value proposition to emotive content, valuable content. So it is a really important question, and if you don't know the answer, then you need to find a customer that you trust and ask them before you post it, like, what do you think of this, you
yes,
know?
excellent idea. So how would anybody get in touch with you if they wanted them? I'll put your details in the notes underneath, but just a quick shout out. You have a website, contact details, or?
I do, yeah. I mean, by all means, pop the content detail. So my website's claritadigital.com, and they can contact me by there, by LinkedIn. I normally like a phone call. I'm old school, like the phone. I love my tech. I'm a total geek, but you know, there are some things that I think, you know, a good old pen and paper always have by my side.
Yeah.
We'll have a chat on the phone, and people can tell me what they need. I work on a consultancy project basis, so one of the things I tend to do is like put together a project and then sort of hand it over, maybe add some training in, and then the company runs with it. So, you know, no massive retainers or anything like that. Or they might just want, you know, some training or some consultancy or some strategy work. But first, I have a chat and say, right, this is what, you know, this is what I tend to put together a shopping list of items saying, you know, this is what's available to you.
Yeah.
At least try this, and then
Yeah.
if you know you want to move on to more things. But it always starts with a nice little chat to ascertain what we can do together.
Well, thank you once again for coming on Coffee with Stuart, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.
Thank you, Stuart.